Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Well, the biggest news just the other day is that PayPal is going to allow people to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, some anyway, just several, on their platform. Which certainly, in and of itself, sounds like rather bullish news, but of course, they're quick to discover that there are a couple strings attached at a minimum here. First of all, XRP is not one of the offerings, which is just absurd to me. It's freaking absurd. At this point, I can't imagine a reasonable excuse as to why you're not going to list XRP, but you're going to list Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, lower market cap coins that aren't functionally being used for anything. It's just bizarre to me. And on top of that, if you purchase crypto on the platform, on PayPal, you will not ever have the private keys. You can't move it anywhere. All you can do is sell it one day, either at a loss or a profit. That's it. So it's never really yours. I'll tell you what, I would never keep cryptocurrency on an exchange, which is effectively what PayPal is going to seem like to me anyway. I don't know if they're technically defining themselves as an exchange at that point, but it's a moot point to me because it's functionally the same damn thing as going on Coinbase or pick your exchange, except for you don't ever have access to the private keys. So going to run through that. There's an XRP community member that had some thoughtful opinions to share in a really thoughtful thread all up on the Twitters. And then also I have some good news I'll wrap up the video with. The Flare Network Spark token getting a new additional support. There's another platform that will be involved with the airdrop. So plenty to cover in this video before we go any further, though. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate it, but don't get all smashy with it. Hey, I'm looking at you over there, Mr. Muscles. Nobody's impressed. Just a delicate tap will do. You don't need to Hulk smash it like a dork. And also go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel, because why the hell not? Take my free content, damn it. You guys remember this piece from the other day? I ran through this a bit. From Cointelegraph, regulation will keep PayPal's new crypto services from looking looking like anything but crypto, effectively, right here. And then they cited how these different entities that Cointelegraph, and to their credit, like they were doing what they should do and reaching out, if they want to call themselves journalists anyway. And they were reaching out to the NYDFS. What's that stand for? New York. Where's the stupid entity name? There we go. New York Department of Financial Services. And then they referred to PayPal referred them to the NYDFS. They're just trying to figure out specifics. Okay, like what's going on with the licensing and everything, the arrangement, all this and that. And then they reached out to Paxos, which was a company working in tandem with PayPal to make this happening. Which, from what my understanding is, it's like a requirement if you're jumping into the world of crypto like this. In order to get a license, you have to partner with a company that's already in, so to speak. And so then you have this piece from You Today. Ripple CEO criticizes PayPal's move into crypto, which had some of the same gripes that I have shared with you. And here's what Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse said. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Great to see a payment pioneer leaning in, but disappointing some fundamental tenets/benefits of crypto are spurned. And so it really just comes down to the fact that you will never have access to your private keys on PayPal unless they fundamentally change that aspect of their platform. But don't count on it. I mean, they very well may, but you can't count on that moving into this, right? Now, functionally, does this matter? Well, look, if the cryptocurrencies are backed on a one-to-one basis, and that's provably true, that'll go a long way to making me not as upset about this situation, because at least then supply and demand, it's playing out as it's supposed to, more or less, right? But if they're just selling representations of cryptocurrencies, and that's why you can't have your keys, if that were the case, then I'd have a serious problem with it. And there's a lot of people in the XRP community that I've been speaking with on Twitter. You may have seen some of those threads if you're active. And some people think, no, this is pretty much what the model is for some of these exchanges out there. They don't back everything on a one-to-one basis. And so if there was ever a tremendous run on the cryptocurrencies, they wouldn't have enough cryptocurrency, even if they do allow you to take your own keys, to cash out, which is a scary thought if true. For a lot of it now, you can see for a lot of these cryptocurrency exchanges, though, provably, and I think Coinbase is a good example. Is I believe that you can actually you could see, because they actually share, I think they do, publicly what their ledger addresses are. And so like in the case like blockchain, that's a public blockchain, so you can kind of like verify. But some of these other ones, if they're being a little bit more shadowy, it makes me wonder. So I don't like it either way, but at least if it's backed on a one-on-one basis, I'll feel a lot better, because then I'll feel like at least it's money's not getting poured into like fake crypto, because that would be bad. That would be harmful for crypto as a whole, because it's flowing into a representation. It's basically a derivative at that point, right? That's what it is. It'd be a derivative, not the crypto itself. So the money flows into something that's not crypto that otherwise would have gone into crypto. That's bad. That's not going to be good for getting a multiplier effect with any of these assets. And so here's a thread from XRP community member Martin Volk, which I thought was pretty cool. And he tagged me along with some others in the community. I thought I'd share it with you. And so he wrote the following. Looked into PayPal's access to cryptocurrencies, as a lot of people in the community were giving out about them, not including XRP. Would appreciate critical thinkers to give their opinion. Then again, he's taking me along with some others. PayPal made the crypto announcement yesterday, which is on the screen right there. I'm not going to read it. I shared that previously. Here is the Reuters article. 2 quotes from the bottom of the article. Cryptocurrency license from the New York State Department of Financial Services. PayPal is teaming up with cryptocurrency firm Paxos Trust Company to offer the service. Let's take a look at Paxos Global, and he's got a little screen grab there. Let's check out the Department of Financial Services, it's NYDFS, New York Department of Financial Services. Moving down a little bit further here, and there's a little screen grab. You can look, like if you want to pause, you can see the screen grabs that he's sharing right here. I'm just for the sake of time, I'm rolling through it. But then he wrote, custody. Custody refers to the holding of assets on behalf of a client. And then hashtag listing. When an exchange offers trading pairs for a particular asset, this action is known as listing the asset. And then there's a link to Binance Academy talking about this topic. And he writes, quote from CoinDesk article, PayPal service does not allow Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies to be withdrawn or deposited. So once you buy the coins, they stay in your account until you sell. And then there's a little link to that site, that article. And he writes, as PayPal will not allow you to deposit or withdraw cryptocurrency, this takes the custody-only wallet option out of the picture. And as you have to buy the crypto, it needs to be listed. And so as the New York State Department of Financial Services does not allow XRP to be listed, am I correct in thinking that PayPal couldn't offer XRP even if they wanted to? Excellent question. And I can't state this definitively, but I feel very strongly the answer is that they could have listed XRP. There just would have been a restriction, perhaps, in the state of New York. And I've seen stuff like this before. I think that because what else would be holding them back from doing that, unless there's something where you wouldn't be able to conduct at all within the state of New York if you offer a coin even outside of that jurisdiction. If they're going to be like that harsh, maybe there's something like that. I've never heard something like that before. So my for fun guess, and I don't know where to go to verify this, but just on stuff that I've read over the last few years, I don't think it's the case that PayPal was being strong-armed here and didn't have any choice but to not list XRP. So if anybody has a different take, because we're all just doing our best to like get to the truth of everything, if anybody has any information on that, I would love it if you could drop a comment below. If the way that I'm suspecting this played out is if you have evidence that that's just not the case, please let me know, because I'd love to share it with everybody listening in a future video. Be happy to credit you as well. But I think that PayPal just didn't want to list XRP, and we don't know why, and they're probably not going to ever share that information with us. But won't be surprised if in the future they do offer it. XRP is clearly not going away. It's just this is the starting point for PayPal, and to be honest with you, as harsh as it may have sounded like the last video that I put out where I went on this topic for like 20 minutes, it could still be a net plus, and so I'm still holding out hope for that, because ultimately it's definitely possible that they could, as things go along, get to a point where they do allow you to withdraw your cryptocurrency, and that would be a major step in the right direction. And again, as long as it's backed one-to-one, I don't really have a major problem then anyway, but I want to see proof of that before I start to feel remotely okay. But we have seen evolutions like that before. I mentioned in that last video that Uphold was a perfect example. I started using them in the summer of 2018, the first day that they made it possible to withdraw XRP on their platform. Before that, they were selling XRP and you could not withdraw it. For some, I don't remember exactly how long, but for a pretty damn long time. And there was nothing shady going on there. It was just an evolution and implementing the software to make it possible to do that. And you could argue about whether or not they should have just had that all lined up before allowing the purchase of XRP on their platform, or if they should have been able to move faster. Okay, fine, we could have a talk about that. But in the end, ultimately, they did get to a point where you were ultimately allowed to withdraw your XRP. And to me, that's what matters most anyway. And then you have this article. This is a new one from Cointelegraph. Not everyone in the crypto industry is thrilled about PayPal's recent news. While many in the industry were pleased with Bitcoin's surge past $13,200 following an announcement that PayPal intends to integrate crypto into its network, some fail to see any benefits beyond the immediate price movement. According to an October 21st blog post from Satoshi Labs, the team behind the crypto hardware wallet Trezor, PayPal's push to start selling Bitcoin is probably not because they want to spur healthy adoption. Their arguments are similar to ones made by many crypto holders against storing digital assets on exchanges, i.e., not your keys, not your coins. If millions of newcomers are onboarded to Bitcoin by PayPal, there could be a very serious information gap that jeopardizes their experience and undermines key principles of cryptocurrency, stated the blog post by Satoshi Labs. Yes, and I share that concern because I think the average person jumping on board to PayPal, which is viewed as reputable, they're not going to know this information. And maybe they won't even care. Like, maybe they just want to buy it. They don't even want to think about private keys or this or that. They don't even know what the hell private keys are. They're just going to take my money, PayPal. Maybe it's one of those things. I could actually see that, to be honest with you, in thinking through this. And I don't think I mentioned in the last video, and I guess I'm kind of remiss for that, but I don't think that it's functionally going to matter in terms of people using their platform by and large. Yeah, there are people like me that won't touch it with the 10-foot pole, fine. But I think for the rest of the masses, this is like, it's among the first like household names to allow the buying and selling of cryptocurrency, because as reputable as Coinbase is perceived to this point, like that's not some sort of legacy institution. Like PayPal has been around for decades at this point. It just is trusted. All sorts of people, hundreds of millions of people utilize it and have accounts. So is it going to work for them? Yeah, I bet it will. I'm willing to bet, and it's going to onboard people into the world of crypto. And if they want to get into XRP, they're going to have to do what I did after I signed up with Coinbase in 2017. Because back then, Coinbase only sold, it was 3 coins. It was Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin. That's it. And then I was like, well, I want to buy other stuff. And so I had to figure out how to do that. And then I bought XRP a week later. So if people want to jump in XRP, it will bring people in, I believe. So in that sense, it should be a net plus. So I guess if I had to guess the way it goes, I don't think some sinister, terrible thing's going to happen. I just don't like the way it's set up right now. But if I had to guess, ultimately, I'll guess this. If I had to make a fun, harmless prediction, I guess I'll predict that PayPal at some point in the future will allow people to withdraw their crypto. I bet it's going to change. I don't know when, but I'd be willing to bet that does happen. So it's probably going to turn out okay. It's probably going to prove to be a net plus, but all these concerns are totally legitimate to bring up right now. I certainly believe. But here's another quote from Satoshi Labs. No one should consider money held entirely by a third party as owned by them. Time after time, exchanges have lost user funds, even leaving them with no resources. Yeah, true. And here's another quote. Long term, if PayPal proceeds without consulting the community and letting their users control their own keys, it offers no value to the space. The greatest risk is that the clout they carry in traditional electronic payments will be interpreted as expertise in crypto. This would threaten the expert advice so carefully crafted by our community, which could be drowned out by the misinformed masses that PayPal brings to the space. And I think that's an awesome quote, hitting the nail on the freaking head. Now, many players in the crypto industry advocate against holding assets on exchanges. Yeah, I'm one of those, by the way. I'm all about self-storage, right? Custody. I mean, I'd be willing to store it in banks in the future one day when there are banks that do actually custody crypto, which they're allowed to do in the United States now legally. I would consider that actually, as long as it's insured. If it's something just like there's FDIC, that whole thing, to $250,000 in checking accounts in the United States, something along those lines. If I had that sort of assurance, then I'd certainly consider it. I just have concerns like, okay, what if it goes on a parabolic run and exceeds that dollar value or whatever the dollar value would be? What if it's no longer covered at that point and then something bad happens? So I'd still probably lean towards just holding it myself, but I don't know. Anyway, many players in the crypto industry can advocate against holding assets on exchanges, which are sometimes subject to hacks, bugs, and general corruption. Even Coinbase, one of the most popular crypto exchanges in the United States, has made waves for crashing when the trading turns volatile. In an ongoing situation, Malta-based exchange OKX hasn't allowed users to withdraw funds since last week. Blockchain.com CEO Peter Smith said PayPal's decision is highly centralized and inflexible. And here's a quote. "We saw this with Robinhood, and we're seeing it again today. Crypto is about financial freedom. It's modern money that anyone anywhere can truly control. While we're excited to see a new audience gain access, a non-custodial approach limits opportunity to self-custody your crypto and transact freely." Again, hitting the nail on the head. I think Brad Garlinghouse is totally in the right to offer that critique. That wasn't his quote, but I'm just saying the critique that he offered publicly on Twitter, totally in the right. All right, now here's this piece. Let's into some good news here. From Crypto Comes. XRP fork Flare gets support from yet another platform, while XRP Ledger launches hooks on Alpha Mainnet. Flare, the utility fork tasked with empowering XRP Ledger instruments with smart contract features, has announced another partnership. Flare's airdrop of Spark tokens will be supported by Nexo Cryptocurrencies Exchange. According to the official announcement by Flare Networks, all XRP holders who use the Nexo platform as custody for their tokens are eligible for seamless claiming of Spark tokens. Further, the details of the collaboration and a manual for claiming will be disclosed in the coming weeks. So, again, I think that this is going to be really something here. I mean, they're free frickin' tokens. I believe that they'll at some point be traded on exchange. They'll have a price greater than what it is today, because today, Spark token is not distributed, and it's worth $0. It doesn't have a market price. But it will, I believe. I believe it will have a market price. And who knows, if that thing runs parabolic and we get it for free, it's like, to me, it's a no-brainer. So I'm going to choose to claim mine. Just be careful. Don't forget, you'll never have to give out your private key or seed phrase to anyone. You'll never have to type it into a website to claim it. Nothing along the lines of that. And so if somebody says that you need to type in your private key, do not do it. That is a scam. You will lose everything. Don't give them your seed phrase. Nothing along those lines. Just want to be super clear. Anyway, that's it for this video, though. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything, because of anything that I say or write, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!